Hi, everybody. My name is Shannon Cooper, and I am one of your instructors for this Nurse Aid hybrid course. So excited to be here with you all and work with you throughout the course. I have been a nurse for about 16 years. I've worked in trauma, med surg, ortho. I've done urgent care, occupational health, and camp nursing. So I've done a bit of everything, and it's all been awesome. It's one of the nice things about being in healthcare is you can kind of try a little bit of everything. I've also been teaching for almost as long. I started out in the nursing department teaching new nurses, and I've been doing allied health for a long time now. And I love teaching the nurse aid course because it is truly the foundation for all of the healthcare fields, in my opinion. So this is a great place to start, and you're going to learn a lot, and it's a super fun class. So I wanted to show you around our course page just a little bit. I know some of you have done online learning before, but maybe not all of you. So I'm going to start out just by showing how you're going to access on course. So first things first, we're going to go to the Blue Ridge main page. You go to students over here on the right and click on my courses. Now, when I click on that, it's going to open in a different window. So let me switch over to that real quick as well, just so you can see where it takes you. So here we go. When you click on my courses, it's going to take you to a page that looks similar to this. Yours is going to look different. I've my yours depend on what you're taking online. If you aren't logged in first, I should log in up here, and then your stuff will show up. You're going to find our class, click on that, and then it's going to take you to our course page. So I'm going to point out a few important things here. This first week, so starting today, right, and ending on Saturday, you are actually responsible for 3 sections of our course page. Feels like a lot, but it's not too bad, I promise. It's course home, getting started, and week 1. You have to have all of these items done by the end of this week. Let me show you the course home first. So and you're going to read through all this and click on it, so I'm not going to go into things in detail, but I want to highlight a few important things. Course announcements, that's something that I do and post regularly throughout the week, so please make sure that you're checking your course page here and your Blue Ridge student email on a regular basis, multiple times throughout the week, to make sure you're completing all of your work and seeing if there's any announcements, reminders, updates, etc. This here is for you all, this little discussion forum. That can be any kind of questions that you guys want to discuss, help each other with, or even, plan lunch together. So this is really for you all. You've got important documents here, syllabus, quick dates, hybrid outline, how this course works. So make sure you click on that and read through it. Same with your background check and drug testing information. This is going to be really important. Make sure you note the due date of this and know that the due date includes when the drug test and the background check have to be completed and posted, and that takes time. So make sure you're getting this done as soon as possible. Course home, what else is on here? Let's take a look. So the other things you got on here is some introductions of myself and Kim. Nurse Aid One resources. This is a really important section. I'm going to come back to this in one moment. And then some resources for tech and computer literacy. So just click on those so you know what's available and utilize it if you need it. Back up here. Credentia North Carolina Nurse Aid information, that is your state test. Click on that and be familiar with it, but then put it aside until we get towards the end of the class when it's going to become more important but relevant. And then state skills and the code you use. So when you click on here, there's going to be a link that you follow, and this is the code you're going to use to gain access to these skills. You learn the skills in the lab, right? You practice them lots and lots and lots. But if you want to do a little refresher for yourself or practicing at home and you want some videos to watch, use these. You can search online and find an endless number of CNA skill videos, but they're not all going to be ones that you should be using to prepare yourself for our state test. So that's why we have these available for you. Next to the nurse aid curriculum. This is super important. This is where all of your modules, your content, and my lectures come from. So I'm going to switch over to that and just show you real quick as well. Okay, so once you clicked on that curriculum, this is where it's going to take you. Let me just show you one example. You can actually choose a variety of ways to follow along with the lectures, take notes, etc. And really, it's all about finding what works best for you. It could be printing out some things. It could be downloading and taking notes on the computer itself, or maybe downloading and taking notes in your own notebook. You also do have the option to request a printed out version of these modules from the Blue Ridge Bookstore if you'd like to do that. And purchase that. But you've got a few options, and I'm going to let you explore these. PowerPoint version, the PowerPoint with some, they call it a handout. It's just got a section on the side to take notes. Or my personal favorite, top link up here for each of these modules. This has the detailed information, which is why I like it best. And again, per state requirements, I'm lecturing directly from here. And I should scroll to the top first. So this is what it's going to look like when you first open it. Module A, for example. One thing you want to make sure that you do before you start listening to a lecture for each module is reviewing the definition list. So just read through them. You don't have to memorize them, but you want to at least be familiar with all the terms that are going to be used in that lecture. Definition list. This is the right here, okay? You can also use this to take notes and follow along. But again, this is directly what I'm lecturing from, has most of the, or all of the detail that you're going to be tested on and expected to know. So that's a really good one to know. All right, let's go back to our course page. All right, so that takes care of that section right there, or that link. All right, next is going to be the Getting Started tab. So a couple of these items are, more specific to our class and to nurse aid, but these top three here are requirements by the college itself. And this is really, really important. Most times your assignments are all going to go on a Saturday night, but this is the one exception. Please make note that these items on this page, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, feels like a lot, but it's not, they're pretty quick. These 5 items are all due on the 22nd by 11:59 p.m. Syllabus, solo, and Blue Ridge acknowledgement here. Those are the ones that if you don't have to do with nurse aid specifically, the requirements of the college. The thing is, if you don't complete these, you do actually risk being dropped from the course. So please get these done on time. Like I mentioned, most of these are super quick. The solo confirmation quiz probably takes the longest. So maybe get that one done and out of the way first, and then you can knock out the other ones quickly. Don't forget this one at the bottom. This is the introduction. Please make sure to do this. Please make sure that you answer all the questions asked, and you'll see when in the instructions that it says to also respond to at least one other posting by one of your fellow students. So make sure you complete all assignments in their entirety and follow all instructions. I'm going to point out this one, and then we'll look at an example of what a week looks like, a typical week. So how are you successful in a hybrid course? This is super important. You need to be logging on to My Courses and your Blue Ridge student email regularly throughout the week. You also need to make sure that you're getting and reading thoroughly the course announcements, okay? Those are really important. And finally, communicating early and often. That's also critical in an online course. You have to be communicating with me on a regular basis, and please communicate via my Blue Ridge email. There is a communication option on the My Courses page. Please do not utilize that one. It's not very user-friendly. Please go directly to my Blue Ridge email. And also, it is present in an online or hybrid course. We all know when you go to the lab or clinicals, you're physically there, you're counted as present for attendance purposes, but how do you get counted as present online? You also have to be attending that well. Or it is making sure you're listening to each lecture entirely, right? You can't listen of one lecture and 15 minutes of another. You have to listen to finish for every single lecture online. You also have to complete your weekly assignments by their due date. Late work is not accepted. Now, we of course understand that emergency situations arise, and that's where that communication can play in a major way. If some unexpected thing comes up and you don't know if you're going to be able to complete your assignment by the due date, please communicate with me as quickly as you can. In most situations, we can work around that and make something work for that instance, okay? So just communicate. And of course, to be counted as present online, in addition to those two things, you need to be logging in on a regular basis. If I see that you, every week starts on a Sunday, bright and early in the morning, 12:01 a.m. to be exact, and if I see that you haven't logged on till that Thursday, that's a problem, right? You haven't been present online. So log on regularly throughout the week. All right, so let's go back to our main course page. That completes the items due in the Getting Started tab. Now let me show you what a typical week looks like. And each of these subsequent weeks is going to be very, very similar in format and layout, just the content's going to change. We're going to show you start when the end is, followed by modules themselves with the lecture here. You just click on it, it'll open it up. Some modules will have supplemental materials. If they're there, you're responsible for them. If there's nothing there, then no worries. So you got another module, lecture, module. Pointing out here, this is a two-part lecture because it is a long one. Some supplementals, module, lecture, and one supplemental. After you've gotten through all of your lectures, watching them in their entirety, completing the supplementals, then you come to your assignment section. Every week you're going to have one online assignment. This is something that's submitted online. Please make sure that you are reading the instructions carefully. Make sure before you submit it that you have addressed every single thing that has been asked of you. And in some instances, there's a minimum length requirement as well. So if there is, pay attention to that. Make sure you're doing that as well so that you get credit. Assignments are always going to close on the Saturday of that week at 11:59 p.m. So as long as you have it submitted by then, you are good to go. The Hartman reading and workbook activities. You're also responsible for these readings every week and the activities. All of these readings and activities are also expected to be completed by the Saturday of each week. The one thing I want to point out here, because it's in a workbook, you're actually going to be bringing that workbook with you to class the next time you're in the lab to show to your instructor, to Kim, for completion. So that's how you're going to get graded on the workbook part of this, okay? So don't forget to bring that workbook with you to the following class day. All right, let me scroll back up. And that's what it all looks like. I think, actually, let me point out one more thing to you. I do want to, in this course, we complete week 1 and week 2 before we have our first test. But then after that, please note that you have 1 week worth of material followed by a test, another week of material followed immediately by a test. So just wanted to point that out. I think that's mostly it. The main thing, of course, is communication, getting things completed on time, and watching those lectures in full. If you have any questions, I am here and available. Please send me an email. I'm quick to respond. We can always set up conferences, meetings, virtual, I'm here to help you and help you succeed. So please make sure that you're communicating with me. And if you need any help at all, I'm available. So I am looking forward to getting to know all of you. And if you have any questions about the course itself, the layout, all of that, how things work, also let me know right away. We don't get you behind when you're starting this week.